come over and we start a fight. Never know who's wrong or right. Feel nothing when you go. I know it's not intelligent, drinking for the hell of it, but that's irrelevant now. We should talk about us. How come we're holding on? Cause really I don't see the benefits now. When you've broken my trust, so I just wonder, why do I fall back to you? Really nothing I can do about it. Why do I fall back to you? It's like you're a drug to me, I can't quit. It's not like we're still 22, trying something new just to pass time. I don't think that we ever could work this out. None of it makes sense, there's no reason why I still fall back to you. I should probably let you go. I know I can be cynical, make everything difficult, but it would take a miracle now to fix the problems. How come we're holding on? Cause really I don't see the benefits now. And you've broken my trust, so I just wonder, why do I fall back to you? Really nothing I can do about it. Why do I fall back to you? It's like you're a drug to me, I can't quit it. It's not like we're still 22, trying something new just to pass time. I don't think that we ever could work this out. None of it makes sense, there's no reason why I still fall back to you. Why do I fall back to you? Why do I fall back to you? Fall back to you, fall back to you. Why do I fall back to you? Why do I fall back to you?
Hey folks, welcome back to the live stream. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all having a fantastic holiday weekend, at least for those of us in America. Hopefully you have a nice extended weekend if your employer swings that way. I know mine does, so thank you all for being here. Welcome to Tweet FEV. My name is Dan, and we're going to talk about some drone stuff today. Everybody, welcome to the chat. As usual, Brandon Baked Beans, always here, always a good time. Thank you so much for showing up. Patio Patterson, that looks like a new name. I haven't recognized that one, so if you're new here, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy what's gonna happen. I'll get some tunes going in the background. All right, guys, get that a little more volume here. Remy Tim, how are you doing, man? Welcome. Robbie Stoer, thank you. I'm sure I'm butchering your last name. Robbie, how you doing? From Switzerland. Tommy, welcome. How are you? Rob Logan Jr., as usual, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Hopefully still keeping that one-wheel daily streak going. Oh, kids are bugging me for breakfast. Yeah, my kids, I don't know, she's kind of free range right now. She's probably pounded handfuls of blueberries or something like that. I don't know. Maniac, how you doing today? And Spudnik, thank you. Oh yeah, it's a holiday. Holiday for some. Robbie, tell them to get their own. Brandon Baked Beans, today I'm building a tiny whoop, getting a spare whoop ready for my father-in-law, swapping a motor on my tadpole. Speaking of tiny whoops, got a new one today. Newbie drone actually finally had some stock come in, and I managed to pick up one of the Acro B-Bane Pros. This is a brushed whoop. I know the whole hobby has been trending towards brushless, but I tell you what, going back to a modern, well-tuned, brushed whoop is very satisfying. It is, it's a pretty nice little experience. If you haven't flown a modern brushed drone, I mean, depending on how long you've been in the hobby. Like when I got in, making your own brush drone was about the only thing out there, and it was all the the Inductrix drones, and I like as soon as the brushless ones came out, it was like that's the way to do it. But going back to flying some of the newer brush drones, pretty impressive. They've come a very, very long way. But yeah, so iGao 3 is starting up real soon. They've asked me to be a sponsor again, and absolutely, of course I'm gonna be a sponsor. I'll supply them with some giveaways, some grips, things like that. And last time I participated, and I think I went maybe 20 weeks? Man, I gotta double check that. All my folders are alphabetical, but for some reason I still can't find them. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, H, I. Oh, I got. There we go. I went 16 weeks. 16 weeks of iGao, and I think it just ended maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it is insane. I think it ran like, I don't know. It ran a very long time. I definitely am not going to keep up with it for as long as, you know, I know my place. I know I'm not going to get to the end, but it's fun to try the different tricks out and the different challenges that that Skittles FPV puts out there, and then, you know, the different challenges. It's a good way to push your skills. It's also a good way to break all the shit you own, because I didn't have many working quads after that. And it was fun because I started off with just doing like HD micro drones, and I was like mixing analog and HD footage in there, and it was a lot of fun. I got one good shout out from Jesse Perkins because I tried to do some stupid flying through a gate that I had hung from the from underneath my Mavic. It was dumb. It didn't work out, but it was fun to try. But it's fun to go out and just try to push the limits of what you can do. And you know, you're gonna break a lot of stuff. And towards the end, man, it got really frustrating. Like I was coming in just PO'd because it seems like in your brain it's like, this shouldn't be this hard. But you know, you just keep breaking everything. And I gotta say, probably the most durable micro I've ever had was the Mobula 6 with the 25,000 kV motors in a Meteor 65 frame. By far the absolute most durable micro I have ever used. I bought a couple newbie drones. Those things just kind of explode when you hit things. The frames are light, but they shatter like glass, man. All right, so a little housekeeping. If you want to support me or see what I got going on, go to tweetfpv.com, click the links. There's a bunch of affiliate links in there. If you want to try to support me with you know, a little bit of passive income, I'd greatly appreciate that. If you want to get out on the giveaways, go to Patreon. Today we are going to give away the 4-inch long-range Crossfire Bind and Fly. Sorry, it's only analog. We're going to give that away today. If you want to enter that, go to Patreon and go ahead and sign up. The way the tiers work out, $5 patrons, $5 and up, they get the entry link as soon as I list it. Oh, and everybody else, actually, I forgot to do that. The entry link goes live when I start the stream. I just have to find the post somewhere. Edit. Doing that right. No, there we go. So if you're a patron, go ahead and hit that link and get yourself entered. Right now I have 20 entries, so got pretty darn good odds on picking up this little guy. Now, ignore the fact that this is Eachine. This is actually a very good platform. Eachine did a very good job with this because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of really good competition for them to copy. Yeah. 4-inch drone. I think the only thing I would change if I was going to actually try doing some long range on this is probably put in a bit of a beefier VTX, but still very serviceable, and it's got a Crossfire in there. Yeah, I didn't go through the effort to like put an Immortal T on there, but hey, what do you guys want, you know? Very, very good little quad. Very surprising what they're getting out of this. All right. And if you want to get my attention over on the chat, type @tweetfpv. It'll light up kind of like these guys here in orange. If you want to try to get my attention, I try to read the whole chat anyways, but what happens with YouTube is as the chat goes along, it just auto scrolls and I lose my spot. Really kind of sucks, but that is what it is. Yeah, I really like the idea of long-range flying, but here in Southern Alabama, there ain't to see. There's nothing to see here. It's just flat and swamp. Speaking of swamp, we'll get into that a little bit later. Unfortunately. Anyways, Patreon. We have a new Patreon member this week, Owen Taylor. Thank you so much for supporting me. Greatly appreciate it. And I added you to the scroller that's not scrolling. What the heck is going on here? Where are you at? Patreon scroll. Patreon scroll title. Why is that not showing up? Hang on, guys. Got some technical difficulties here. There we go. OBS does some really weird things. Like, I don't know why things change, but things just tend to change. No real rhyme or reason for it. I am really patiently waiting for the next OBS release because they are implementing a lot of features that I really excited about. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the chat. If I'm looking over here, that's my OBS stream preview, and then over here is just web content, whatnot. So anywho, let's go back to the chat, see what's going on here. Rob Logan Jr., today will be day 48 of the streak. My goodness, man. Good for you. Keep it going. Brandon Bentley asked me to tell you how the Acro B Pro works. I've flown it around the house a few times, just kind of burning some packs through it. I really like it. Supposedly this one will do turtle mode. I haven't quite gotten that to work. Because that's the big downside to brushed micros or brushed whoops, is they typically don't have turtle mode. And at a normal race with a ton of officiating, people everywhere on the track, it really isn't a big deal. Usually someone will get you up and going faster than you can turtle mode and get out. The micro races that we used to do, we didn't really do any last year because of the Rona. You really needed a turtle mode. Not being able to turtle mode was, if you crashed, you were out. Supposedly this will turtle mode. I haven't gotten it to work, but I really haven't dug into why it's not working. So that was a big seller for me on that. Yeah. The power specifically, I heard those H-bridge FETs don't deliver the same power, but SIP amps a little more. I'll keep an eye on that when I'm flying it. Tommy, day gone really nice. Did my first car chase flying. It was awesome. Probably not awesome footage, but much fun. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I go out and I rip a pack, have, grinning ear to ear, just awesome. I go watch the high def footage. I'm like, well, this is boring as shit. Sometimes you got to consider flying FPV for you, and not so much for everybody else. But it's nice when you go out and fly for yourself and you find the footage is really good and something that other people would enjoy to watch. Brandon Baked Beans, yep, you break all the whoops, that's for sure. And then with the chip shortage we got going on now, I think I gotta stock up. My Mob 6 that I was flying all last year is finally doing some weird death roll stuff. So I think that that flight controller might be done. Yeah, Robbie, I'm gonna win today. That's the spirit. Brandon Baked Beans, is it an Explorer clone, right? Yeah, very desirable. Yeah, it is a Explorer clone. It's not a dead cat, I don't think. I think it's more, I'd say it's more of a clone of the iFlight Chimera. So it's not, it's not a dead cat. It's a squished X. But still, let's go through the specs. So it's got the T1405, 2750 kV motors. Ideally run this on 2S. I ran this on a lithium ion pack, and I think I recall back I got like 20 minutes of flight. It wasn't a spectacular flight, but it was flight nonetheless. It's got a CADX camera. I think it's got one of their proprietary stacks. GPS. The GPS kind of sucks on it, but like the first time you go to power it up and fly it, like you just got to leave it powered up for like 15 minutes for it to acquire sats, and then it's pretty quick after that. I whooped out of IGAO on week 18. Actually, I think that's when I whooped out as well. Let me see. I think I still have their IGAO. Important links. Oh, they took down the... Oh, here we go. I got 2. Yeah, I can't find the spreadsheet, but whatever. You guys get the idea. But I think it was week 18 is when I finally dipped out. Life was just getting busy, and like I was trying to do this stuff around the hurricane season down here. Man, I tell you, like work is insane when there's hurricanes, and the fact that I was able to get out and do any of the flights was a small miracle. Oh, Brandon Baked Beans hooking a brother up. Let's see, where am I? There we go. Yep, week 18 whooped out. So what? 49th place, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how that all works out. Yeah, and I had a couple really dumb failures, like just stupid things, just not following directions, I had a couple really dumb letters pulled on me, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see, 49. Yeah, like the gap between week 18 and going all the way to week 40, like there's not a lot there. But that was a ton of fun, and if you at all are interested in it, just give it a try. I mean, even if you only go like maybe 5-6 weeks, it's still worth it. And then I've had a lot of people that were in contact with me, and they were trying to do the tricks throughout most of the season until basically they broke everything. Yeah. Brandon, we went out at the same time. MS Stevie, that's a new name. I don't recall seeing you here, but thank you for showing up. OBS is lit. Use it for your years in the music industry. This is I really haven't had a lot of experience with OBS. I have spent a lot of time on the overlays. Yeah, it's like, it is a pre-purchase pack from, I think, Nerd or Die, but just setting it up with all the cameras and all this stuff. Like I'm running 4 cameras, a Go XLR Mini. There's a lot going on here. I also have a FPV capture device, which I used on a couple streams, trying to figure out how to reintegrate this. Might try to doing some streams from the out of doors, but we'll see. Time is the issue. Kevin Smith, Patreon only giveaway today. Yep, Patreon only giveaway. As little as $2, you can get your name on the list. Brandon Baked Beans, same spec as the Explorer with the solid bomb. Yeah, exactly. I did see the Mob 6 with Express LRS. So let's, we're kind of jumping the show notes a little bit here. Let's talk about Express LRS. I've been kind of messing with it a little bit, building my own transmitters. I've got a bunch of the EP2 receivers. That's the teeny tiny 10x10 ones with the SMD antenna. Sorry, got a scratchy knee. And I put one in a 533 Tiny Trainer. If you haven't heard my thoughts on the Tiny Trainer, it is by far the funnest quad I own, and I've got a couple of them. I went and did all the wrong things. got it working, no issues there. Bench tested it, no issues there. Tested failsafe, no issues there. Took it outside, was flying it, and on really hard yaw turns, I was getting like a quick skip, almost like a yaw twitch, almost like a PID loop. Like the PID loop was going out of control a little bit, and it did that a few times. Came back, landed, changed packs, went out, did it again, did a couple more of those quick yaw turns just to try to kind of pinpoint what's going on, and it flew to the moon. I've had plenty of quads do that PID loop runaway thing. You just disarm and it'll crash, which I was fine with. This one took off through like the only opening in the canopy where I fly. Go figure, otherwise it would just hit a tree and fell down. And it went. I disarmed, and it kept going. It kept going and going and going. And I'm watching my goggles just cruise up past the trees. I'm looking at the neighbors' houses, and it just kept going and going and going. I'm arm, disarm, arm, disarm. I had enough time where I pulled my goggles off, walked out, and was like doing this thing with the transmitter, hoping something would happen. Kept going, just kept going. And then through the static, I could finally see in my goggles, RX lost, and it finally shut itself down. So I don't know what happened. I almost always run my DVR. This time I went out, turned a DVR on, did something, goggle battery beeped at me, like, ah, crap, went inside, grabbed another battery, plugged it in, went out, flew. Didn't turn my DVR on. I have no idea where it's at. I heard it land or go through the trees or something, so it can't be that far. It went straight up and then straight-ish down. The wind blows like a northeasterly way, so I think it's out in the woods, out in the swamp. And I'm talking like Alabama backwoods swamp, not like gators, but at least like snakes and all sorts of horrible things. So, with that said, I was on release candidate 7 of Express LRS. I was on beta flight 2.3 or 3.4, whatever the crap, I can't remember what version it was. Whatever the nightly version was. I'm on nightly OpenTX firmware. Like, all the things that could go wrong, I lined them all up and didn't have my DVR running like a absolute complete. So there's a 533 Tiny Turner out in the woods somewhere. Me and my daughter was staying over at a friend's house, and I brought her home, and I'm like, yeah, I lost a drone out in the woods. She's like, that woods? I'm like, no, the ones with the swamps and the snakes. She goes, 7-year-old, remember? She goes, I'll get my boots, Dad, let's go. I'm like, we've never walked out in the swamp. I've been living here for 4 years, and we've never gone out there. So we tromped around the swamp for about 2 hours. If you're on my Discord, I was posting pictures of kind of the antics we were going through. Still didn't find it. It's either in the 4.3 beta flight 4.3. It's either in the swamp, in the water, or it's still in a tree. Either way, when I heard it hit, I lost video and I lost RC connection. So I'm assuming either it went in the water or I disconnected the battery. And with the 533 Tiny Trainer, if you know how the battery mounts, it'd be pretty tough for that battery to get ejected. So we need to go back out there and look again. We saw a snake, or she saw a snake, and that was kind of the end of searching. I'm surprised it took us that long to see one. I don't like snakes, neither does she. So yeah. That is my story of the lost Tiny Trainer. So I'm not saying it's Express LRS that did it. I'm not saying it's Betaflight that did it. All I know is that combination I had, something went horribly wrong, and my arming switch did not disarm the quad. So I would caution anybody who is running Express LRS, remember, this is all like beta stuff. Please treat it as such. Run your goggle DVR. All the stuff we always preach. Run goggle DVR, put it down and walk away from it. Don't stand over it. Who knows what's going to happen? And just remember, it's all test stuff, Rob Logan Jr., good job with the bleep button. I appreciate it this morning because I got Skylar with me. Yeah, I can't guarantee I'm going to be that on it, but I will try my best. Mike Bergman, of course, the Tiny Trainer is the last quad you're going to set up a beeper onto. Yeah, exactly. You know, there's no room for beepers on it. I was always relying on the motor beeper, and you know, even like when I crashed in the backyard, where I know kind of where it's at, like I'd be standing on top of the dang thing before I found it even with the motor beeper. So I got a feeling that thing it's gone. But you know, yeah. House FPV, yep, odd that it spun up and shot to the moon. Even odder that I wasn't able to disarm it. I've been flying Betaflight 4.3 on a lot of different quads, and it seems to be stable. Maybe I just found that weird thing. Brandon Baked Beans says, why didn't disarm work when it had an RC link? That is my question. I have heard of people saying I had a quad glitch out and I couldn't disarm it. I always assume they basically never set up failsafe. But the weird thing with Express LRS is every other receiver I have, you know, there's failsafe options. What happens when failsafes? Do you do a custom hold? Do you do a custom setup? Do you hold? Do you do no pulses? Do you do whatever the receiver says? ExpressOS doesn't have that. So I don't know, and you know, like the failsafe tab in Betaflight, I just leave it the way I always do. Just auto for pitch, roll, throttle, and rudder, and then hold for all the switches. Every quad I've ever set up, excuse me, that's the way I've set it up. I don't know if customizing your Betaflight failsafe tab is going to be a necessary requirement for ExpressOS because it doesn't. You don't have that specification. If the dev said that on failsafe it just goes to no pulses automatically, that's great. What if you're flying a wing? Or something without not a wing, but something without a flight controller. Is ExpressOS going to be able to do that stuff? Because, I mean, I know you need like an S-Bus decoder for some of the other receivers if you want to try to do like servos. I don't know. I don't know if ExpressOS is going to work with things without flight controllers. Is there a metal detector that would be able to detect metal from the motors in the swamp? The swamp is actually extremely clear. It's a lot of natural springs back there. Like seriously, I can see right to the bottom of it. It's not like that dank, like stale swamp, but yeah. Yeah, so basically anything I put ExpressOS on is gonna have a standalone beeper on it. Yeah, they won't work well underwater, as EDOC points out, but I mean, better than nothing, I guess. I don't know. It may be up in the trees for all I know. I heard it come through, so it can't be that far. Yeah. Don't go in the swamp in that area. Gators and snakes are waiting. I'm not worried about the gators. It's the snakes. That we're too far away from large bodies of water for there to be gators. It's kind of isolated to my backyard. But for sure, snakes. I've seen copperheads, rattlesnakes, water moccasins. The one we saw the other day, that was a brown water snake. Still scary looking. I don't like snakes. Don't like snakes. Don't like snakes. Don't like snakes. House FP could be a weird combo with the PID loop locking up and the quad shooting the moon, and Betaflight wasn't taking RC signals. Eventually, RC loss got demoted. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is maybe the flight controller was just overwhelmed with the PID loop. It seems like it should be taking your aux switches into consideration before anything else, but I don't know. I'm not that deep into it. I don't know exactly how that stuff works. I bet a gator ate it. Yep, probably the tastiest quad he's ever had. House says, did you have ARM on aux1? Yes, aux1 in every quad I have ever made has always been aux1. It's just an easy way to make sure everything is right. And on this one, of course, aux1 was my ARM switch. Barry Cook, or Cookie, Barry Cook? I'll call you Barry. Kind of new to FPV, but the story gives me the shivers. Yeah, and it should. At some point in this hobby, you become way too complacent with fail-safes, lipo safety, personal safety, things like that. And eventually something bad has to happen to kind of like lock you back in. And this is one of those things that's gonna lock me back into being safe, you know. Lipo fires do it too. Like everybody I know who's been in this long enough has or is going to have a lipo fire. And when you have that lipo fire, hopefully you're not relaxed about it, because that stuff will destroy your house, destroy your family, destroy you, you know, like you gotta be really careful. So anyways, a little more vigilant, a little more careful. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna build another one, put Express LRS on it, and try it again. Because the data I've seen on Express LRS is too good to pass up. IIRC. Does that mean, if I remember correctly, I'm too old to remember what that means. ALRS servo board. Okay, cool. Friendly Nomad, have you thought about building a waterproof quad like the ones from Shen Drones, for example? No, I don't have a purpose for a waterproof quad. It's very purpose built. There's a ton of water over here. Waterproof long range would be kind of cool, but no. The closest I come to waterproof is just conformal coating everything. Brandon Baked Beans says, yes, I don't fully trust Express LRS, but I trust it enough to use it. Just got to stay prepared for the contingency plans in case something crazy. Yeah, exactly. That's the way you have to go forward with this, is expect something bad to happen, prepare for it. But it does seem to work enough that most people aren't having issues. Again, like I said, I was on a lot of beta stuff, I was on beta flight. All Express LRS is kind of a release candidate, and my OpenTX software. It was a 2.3. It was a nightly, so it wasn't like something crazy. The lipo fire thing makes me wonder how reliable Torval battery pouches. Don't. No. Battery pouches are complete BS. They are kind of like set up for like one lipo. Who keeps one lipo in a battery pouch? Everybody I know who has battery pouch has that thing stuffed to the gills. You set one lipo off on there, words are tough this morning. If you set one lipo off in that bag, and there's like 6 or 7 more in there, be prepared for a show. The only thing I know of that is actually like effective to stopping lipo fires from destroying your home is the bat safe. I have a bat safe. I charged inside that bat safe for about 6 months. So now I charge on top of the bat safe. I don't charge inside it because it is a complete pain in the butt to use. I know lipo's gonna go off while it's sitting on top of the bat safe, and I'm gonna feel like a complete dummy. But yeah, I've seen people charge lipos in their fireplace. That would be a better place, except for if you know how fireplaces work, if the chimney's not hot, it's just gonna blow that smoke back in your house anyways, and most people have the flues shut because they're trying to conserve energy if they're air conditioning or heating their house. It seems like a good idea. Charging your lipos outside is probably about the only safe place to do it, but lipo charging can be safe. You just have to take the proper precautions. Maniac says, I've had a lipo fire, caught it just in time. Awesome, man. Like every time I see a lipo fire, it's usually at the field when someone's like parallel charging like 8 or 9 packs, and you just look over there and there's just an enormous fireball going off. Luckily, it's always outside. L. Leston, conformal coating will make your quad somewhat waterproof, or somehow waterproof. It makes it water resistant, not waterproof. Most conformal coating isn't applied properly. If you're applying conformal coating and you're not using a UV light afterwards to double check your work, you're missing spots. I guarantee it. It is so hard to completely coat your board with that conformal coating. And there's a UV dye in there that's intended for you to go back and make sure you got it all. Hell's Pawn, welcome. How you doing? That's a new name. I haven't seen you before. When I bought the bat safe, it was the small pancake one. I know they have a big tall one now. That would probably be better, but it's still kind of a pain in the butt. Charging on the fireplace is a smarter idea, but the smoke's still gonna like wreck your house. Most likely the smoke's not gonna go out the chimney. Like I said, most likely your flue's shut. And if the chimney's not warmer than the interior of your house, it's not gonna create that convection to bring it up and out. Trust me, lived in the backwoods of Michigan for most of my life. Fireplaces were a way of life. It's how I heated my house. LiPo bags are such a scam. Yeah, they are. I honestly think they're dangerous because it gives people the false sense of security that, hey, this is going to stop your house from catching on fire if the fire no, they will char. Some of them, it depends on how big the battery is, how much power is, how much voltage is in it, voltage, watts, energy, whatever, you know what I mean, how charged they are, because a LiPo that's at full charge is significantly more fire than one that's at like 3.2, 3.8 volts. Had a 1S pack reverse charge. Oof. He claims his fire retardant up to 15 LiPos. Yeah, 15 1S LiPos, sure. They're not an American company. They're not going to be liable for shit. Sorry. I'm trying. Yeah. Ammo boxes are a really good choice. You need to remove the rubber gasket from the inside of them, otherwise they do kind of turn into a bomb, or they can anyways. There's lots of really good tutorials for ammo can LiPo safes with like little spouts, but none of them will protect your home from getting just wrecked from the smoke. The bat safe will, to the best, that's probably the best one. It does have a filtering element for the top of it to allow just it keeps kind of the sooty part of the smoke from coming out. I store all my LiPos in a LiPo bag and an ammo safe. I just kind of separate them by size, but I don't charge inside of them. I charge out on an open bench because then I can see it. Charging inside a ammo can or the bat safe seems like a good idea, but you're completely at the mercy of that thing, that the safe or the bat box keeping the LiPo from exploding or catching a house on fire. If you have it out on the bench and you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing and paying attention to it, you can actually monitor it. You can't monitor it when it's inside the box unless you're constantly going in there checking. So I don't know. I think charging in the safe and charging in the bags and charging in the bat safe lure people into a false sense of security. I think the safest way to do it is out on a bench where you can watch it. Personal opinion. That's it. What do you guys think? Brandon Baked Beans has a Express LRS RX Lost video. You mind if I show it? I don't know if I saw that. Let's see. We'll spin the wheel for the 4-inch. Oh, 25 entries for the 4-inch long range. We'll spin that sucker in about an hour. How about 10:30? Somebody keep me honest to that. Show it. Skip to the end. Okay. We will show it. Hopefully, there's no copyright music. Oh, dang it! Stupid. Open a new tab. All right, here we go. That link does not work. Yeah. Zanekis, welcome. If you guys are looking to buy some used or sell some used or even new FPV gear, head over to fpvexchange.com. It is a awesome site for trying to get a good deal on some good gear. Zanekis says sidewalk on extension cord, bring hot dogs. If there's any problems. I have no idea what you're saying. Oh man. Yeah, Brandon Baked Beans, that link didn't work. Post up in Discord in the live stream chat, and I'll post it up. For some reason, the YouTube Studio chat box thing just doesn't seem to work well with YouTube links. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Let's this guy. Paste. And... no. I don't know why it wants to keep opening it up in Studio. Let's try this one here. There we go. Weirdness. All right, let's head over to monitor one here. All right, let's go to... How far, Brandon? Is this it hunting for you? So you had Return to Home. Okay, so it's right over top of you, right? And you're using Betaflight Return to Home. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to find you. And you couldn't disarm it, huh? Oh, no way. Wow. Were you trying to catch it with your shirt or something? Jeez. Yeah, guys, this is early adopter stuff. You gotta be very careful. Let's see. Beard and Hammer RC, welcome. Yeah, he agree. Yeah, storage, perfectly fine. Put in the bags, put in the boxes, whatever. But nothing compares to paying attention to them. Please, guys, don't get laxed on lipos. Yeah, it was really weird when I had that runaway. I literally had time to take my goggles off and so I fly from underneath my deck, just a little bit of shade. It's hot here, sunny. And I fly the same kind of pattern all the time, just kind of test range and performance. I'm a very let's keep things consistent while I'm testing type of person. And I had time to take my goggles off, look at my radio, see there was no signal. It even told me RX loss or signal loss or whatever it was. I had time to walk out and flip the arm switch back and forth, holding it was such a it was a defeating feeling. This thing is flying away and I can't do anything about it. I'm like, what if this thing hits somebody? Or afterwards, what if this was a bigger drone? What if this was my X class? What if this thing was cruising along on the race field and just kept going? What if it wasn't a 5-inch that I was doing, 80 miles an hour with and just went into the crowd? I'm not going to use Express OS for any of my race quads until I feel safe with it. I'll put in some test quads and experiment with it, but this puts me to the point where I'm uncomfortable with it. Again, it might not be Express ORS. It might be Betaflight. It may be something with the OpenTX version I was running, but there was something. I don't know. Reading through the chat. I thought I was gonna smash your window out. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. From I recall, that was on 900 megahertz, right? House, yes, I did bring it up on well, actually, Brandon Baked Beans brought it up on the Express LRS site, and I went in there and kind of clarified and gave them my information. I don't know. They were pretty quick to dismiss it as an issue with Betaflight, but I don't know. I mean, we didn't really go into too much depth. Without the DVR, there's not much they can really do for me, or I don't really have much that they can go off of except for a report of having a runaway that I could not disable from or disarm from. Beer and Hammer, man, have a good one. Hey, all you guys, if you guys got packs charged up, it's sunny out, and you want to go fly, go home, go fly. Not go home, but go fly. Don't stick around for this. You know, I'll be honest. If it hit your car, it probably wouldn't have broken a window. You'd be surprised how hard those windows are. Well, it might have. I don't know. Zenekas, can't imagine the stench. I must have missed something. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. But welcome anyways. Mad Fisher, yeah, ExpressOS definitely has some growing pains. But again, my experience, I was on a lot of beta stuff. Like all the beta things, that's what I was using. But yeah, so anyways, I am down one 533 Tiny Trader. Sad about that. But I got another one. I was gonna try building this up on the live stream today or maybe like tonight. I don't know. But I definitely need to build up another one. I'll probably put ExpressOS back in it. You know, I'm a glutton for punishment. Because, especially after seeing what happened to the one I had, I would much rather have a smaller drone go nuts and maybe whack somebody than say a 5-inch. So I know it's kind of flawed-ish type logic, but it's kind of where I'm at with it. Joseph Mendez, hi, how you doing, man? Welcome. You were on RC3, okay. But I don't know if you saw Mark Spatz's UAV Tech's video on the latency testing with especially like with the jitter in all the signals. ExpressOS is by far the superior RC signal out there, like hands down. But Ghost Immersion RC just released, I think it's a beta firmware for it that pretty much fixes the jitter and the latency issues, and I think TBS is doing the same thing. So if ExpressLRS does one thing, it gets all these manufacturers to pull their head out of their and get them doing the right thing. Like the tools are out there to prove and disprove what these manufacturers are saying as far as like their signal quality and the latency and the jitter and all that stuff goes. Now there's a protocol out there that is doing what they're saying and doing what these other companies are saying, going, hey, we're doing this better, and it's kind of free-ish. So I'm sure you'll see big improvements in Ghost and Tracer coming down the pipeline to clean that stuff up. I think there's just a lot of like, hey, we got a product that's selling and it seems to be stable. We're just gonna hold right here. Same thing Fat Shark did. Fat Shark kept making small iterations of the same goggle. Like, who are we competing with? What are you gonna buy? Ishin? And now they have actual competition to work with or work against. So, innovation. Hopefully ExpressOS drives innovation, and hopefully, man, maybe a little bit of cost cutting from the other manufacturers. It'd be nice if they were all great and you just kind of picked which color you like, you know? Which political views do you like? Do you like Trappy? Do you not like Trappy? You know, go buy this, go buy that. You're going to get the same product. I don't know. Just a little bit of my rambling there. If anything, I really hope that it just drives innovation. Makes manufacturers say what they're, do what they say they're going to do. Crossfire V3 is coming soon, hopefully. We'll see if that cleans up the tracer signals and the latency and the jitter and all that stuff. But if you haven't seen that video by UAV Tech, definitely check that out. That is a big eye-opener because latency is not everything. Latency and consistency is key to this stuff. I do have some of the ESP 82 something development boards to make my own latency testing. I was doing that with a oscilloscope, and that was a big pain in the butt. Now this is all kind of automated, so hopefully that clears that up. EDOC, Ghost looks interesting, but I have a Tango 2, and for some reason, Freedom TX doesn't support for Ghost. Oh yeah, but you know, like when FR Sky doesn't support Crossfire, everybody pulls out the pitchforks and wants to burn the city down. So here's the deal with that, is when a manufacturer releases a product, they have their own version of OpenTX on it. OpenTX, ER Sky, Freedom TX, whatever. It's their in-house development to get their product working with their products. OpenTX is open source, and they know it's going to be rolled into their development timeline. Why spend the time? I mean, think of it from a manufacturing standpoint. I own the company. I'm paying people to develop software for this device that we're going to release on the market. Why on earth would I spend any money making it work for a competitor's product? Especially when they're going to get it, when the consumer's going to get it, and they're going to dump a open source that has that support. So when you hear people saying, "Oh, well, FR Sky doesn't support Crossfire," blah blah blah, it's why would they? Especially when OpenTX supports it and they're going to be able to flash OpenTX to it. It's not like it's a hardware. It's not like they're making it not work from a hardware standpoint. Except for the QX7, that's a whole other issue. That's just cost-cutting measures on cheaper inverters and well, yeah. Anyways, I think Edge is going to fix the Freedom TX issues. It might. Edge TX it's an interesting concept. It's basically going to be just releasing the bleeding edge of development for the radios without the testing. Like OpenTX is very reluctant to add extra features in and just push out a new version. It needs to be tested and vetted, because you know that real old that's flying the nitro gas planes on OpenTX, on FR Sky and OpenTX. Actually, they're probably on Spectrum, but we're not gonna do that. It needs to work, and OpenTX is very reluctant to just push out rando changes. And it's for a good purpose. I mean, it's for a reason, because they want their product to be stable as possible. I can't really recall any like major bugs in OpenTX where it's causing people to have runaways and fail-safes and screw up gear. And maybe that's for the best. The Edge TX, if people go into it knowing like, hey, this might not work, or you may lose your stuff, there's a market for that. Innovator's dilemma. Very, very true, Zenekas. Yeah, EDOC, I 100% agree. The problem with FR Sky is their lack of support with FR Sky. That's why I feel the same way. Like it's almost daily I'm working with somebody to help them get their OpenTX radio, be it either FR Sky or Jumper, working to work with other FR Sky gear. I feel like I need to be on the payroll for FR Sky, because it's literally every day and it consumes a ton of my time. So if I've helped you, chill, time to chill. Here I go shilling again. If I've helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please consider supporting me. I would appreciate it. Yeah. Oh man, how could I wish I could use that as like a tagline for something. My problem with FR Sky is their lack of support with FR Sky. That is perfect. There we go. That is perfect. It is exactly what it is. Yeah, Mike, I'm the defect that screws up gear. Yeah, we've all been there. My first quad was a Ishin Wizard X220. I swear, if you looked at it wrong, ESC fire. You land, nice soft landing, ESC fire. You punch out, props explode. Like, the gear was such absolute hot garbage just a couple years ago. Luckily, things are cheap. The availability is getting a little worse than it used to be. Things are like, think about what it is we're doing with the stuff, and the fact that it costs what it does is pretty amazing. Prices are going up because of the chip shortage. I guarantee you they're never going back down, because why would they? It's availability. So guys out there, if you're looking for a product, be it a radio, a receiver, flight controllers, pre-order what it is you want. Don't wait for it to come into stock, because you're probably never going to get it. If they offer a pre-order, that's kind of going to be the way forward to getting stuff. Or if you're looking for something that's been out, go to fuvexchange.com and see if you can find it there. But pre-ordering is kind of going to be the way to go going forward here, unfortunately. I pre-ordered plenty of stuff if I get the chance, and I always eventually get it. More parts to build Express LRS 2.4 transmitters. If you're interested, hit me up over on Discord. Again, go to that tweetfv.com link and you can join my Discord server down there. Costs nothing, and I don't block it out for patrons only. I do have a patron only section where we talk about a little more off the wall, more personal things. But yeah, that's where you go for that. Flying Nomad says, TweetFV, do I remember correctly that you are in the service? If so, what's your job? Do you enjoy your time? Friendly Nomad, yeah. So I am in the service. I'm in the Coast Guard. I've been in for 14 years now. Yeah. An AET-1, aviation electrical technician. Absolutely love the job. I work on the MH-65 Dolphin helicopters, and I can't imagine having a different job. It's an amazing job. It's a lot of fun working on helicopters, flying in them, being crew, things like that. So, yeah. I usually don't go into that too much, but you asked. There you go. Mike Bergman says, I just bought 3 Teco 32 65 amp ESCs, 3 Speedy VF7s, 3 Beast F7 AIOs. Oh man, I need to get a hold of another Beast F7. I've got an H7 in my my 250. I need to get a hold of the F7s. I'll not go without gear. Happened last year around April. Yeah. Actually, the Beast, I'm waiting for their Beast H7 V2, which is supposed to have the BL-832 ESCs in it. Polyon, if I missed it, did you talk about the Happy Model AIOs with Express LRS? I like to get one of those, but I don't know why. I haven't talked about it yet. Really, it's still very much in development, but I think that's going to be the way to go. If you've ever flown a quad with an SPI receiver, like the Mobulas, all the Happy Model boards, and if you float on D8, and then if you upgrade and you're using a multi-protocol module, you can use what's called Redpine, and Redpine is an ultra low latency receiver protocol over SPI. Try flying Redpine. Fly 2-3 packs on Redpine, then go back to D8, and then hate yourself, because D8 is absolute hot garbage. Should not be using it. So now that they're going to come with, instead of that stupid, the SPI D8 D16 receiver in it, if they can come with Express RS 2.4, that is going to be an absolute game changer. People have been asking TBS to put Crossfire in an AIO, not soldered on as a separate component, but like put the tech into the board so it's a all-in-one solution. They've been asking for years, and now nobody, they've said no for so long. Now they're doing it, and it's open source, so you don't have to worry about like what's going on, because these companies are using, basically, for lack of better terms, pirated FR Sky tech. It's non-OEM branded, it's non-official. They've been using that, and now you can't upgrade the firmware for the receiver in those boards, because FR Sky's not gonna let you do it, because they didn't license the tech from them. So now you're running into, if I have newer versions of firmware in my radio, I can't use this older version of firmware in the receiver. I mean, you can always flash back and then use it, but the firmware in the board in the receiver can't advance with the firmware in the radio. Does that make any sense? Might be talking a little gibberish, and people are glazing over and tuning out, unfortunately. So with Express LRS being open source, there won't be that that shutout, hopefully, unless for some reason Happy Model decides to control the flow of firmware updates for the receiver. I don't know how they're going to implement receiver flashing. I'm sure they'll just do it over serial pass-through through like Betaflight, but anyways, I can't wait to see what happens. I think it's gonna be the hot ticket. So get a hold of a 2.4 gigahertz module. I haven't seen anybody selling the JR Lite setup like this one. I'm making a bunch of these, so if you want to get a hold of one, hit me up on Discord. I can hook you up. I see Happy Model's making one, but it's not the standard JR Lite module form factor. It looks like this, but it doesn't have all the fancy grooves in the back of it to actually... Oh, it's screwed together. To actually interface with the radio. It's designed to work with their T-Lite radio, which, by the way, it's good radio. Quality control is kind of meh, what you'd expect from Jumper and Radio Master and the like. It's not very good as far as quality control goes. But they're making it to interface with that radio, so it's not the same. It looks like it, but it's not. I'm sure a little bit of double-sided stickum tape would set you up. But yeah, if you're interested, I've got a bunch of parts to make some of these. Trying to think about pricing and scale. Like, do you want to build it yourself? I'll sell you the parts for blah. You want the case and the parts, this much. If you want completely assembled flash and ready to rock, another price. I'm not looking to make money on the... Well, I mean, my time's worth something, but I'm not looking to start retailing these things for a big profit. I'm just looking to kind of get it out to people. Because most people don't want to wait, the month it takes to get all the parts from Guangzhou, you know what I mean? Mike Bergman, can I win a drone? Absolutely you can. I don't know where you're going to do it, but you can try. Eric Allen, how are you doing today, man? Get a chance to get out and fly, that'd be awesome. So I got 25 people in the list to win the 4-inch long range. So if you want to get a chance to get in that go to Patreon and sign up. You can get to there through my website. Let's see, Apollyon, as I've found out, maybe AIO is bad for me. 2 dead components and 2 dead boards. So AIOs are very hit and miss, and they're very unforgiving. You crash them hard enough, they die. If you lock the motors up, they die. Because I started off with a complete pile of dog of a quad, Yushin Wizard, I flew with my finger on the disarm trigger. Disarm was always away. I flew with a finger on that trigger all the time. The second it looked like I was going to crash or something bad was going to happen, boom, disarm. Because that will keep you from burning up ESCs, because the main reason you burn up ESCs is either getting them wet or locking up the props, keeping the props from turning. You get those filter spikes, you let the magic blue smoke out. It's really hard to put that back in. Always fly with your finger on the trigger. So for me, on this radio, this is arm. Focus, arm is towards me, and I fly literally with my finger right there. As soon as something goes wrong, boom, disarm. Which is very counterintuitive for racing, because racing, you throttle out for everything. Because a lot of times the grass is too tall and you're not going to turtle mode when you crash. Oh, man. Eric Allen, I'm good. I've flown the past 3 days. I'm not getting your notifications. Yeah, I think the YouTube notification thing is BS, and I don't think it works. I see a lot of people complaining about it not working, but then again, I think a lot of people mute notifications from YouTube on their phone, so you're not going to get the notifications unless you have that working. I think that's the issue. I think most people are like, I don't want to see notifications from this, but I want notifications from this person, and it's not going to override that. Globally, if you tell your phone, block notifications from this app or stop notifying me from this app, and you hit the notification bell on somebody's channel, you're not going to get that notification unless you're getting through email as well. Just one of those things. I haven't flown since Saturday. Been really busy I've got a sick car I've been working on. That's why my fingernails look like absolute garbage. I'm working on an old, greasy, rusty diesel car that I need to get working again. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. Mike Bergman, can I win a drone? Was what someone else said. I was repeating them and laughing. Discord has gotten a lot of popularity by being YouTube notification system that works. Yes, absolutely. If you want to be notified of what's going on, definitely sign up for my Discord. And Discord's awesome because you can block notifications on certain channels within a server. I have a notification channel, which is like when I do like, hey, everyone type things, or I post a new video. If you just don't mute that one, you'll get all the notifications for when I go live or when I post new videos, or if I have something that I need to like blast out to everybody. I get JB's for some reason. Well, that's because he's better than I am. I don't know. No, I don't know. It's really weird. Long baby. I didn't see that one. Sorry guys, the chat moves by so quick. I definitely miss things. If I miss your question, either hit it up in a super chat or control a at TweetFB, yeah, that thing. So anyways, build a couple of these modules. These things they're fun to build. I really enjoy building them. The only real difficult part is flashing the ESP32 module. That's the Wi-Fi module. And also removing that resistor on the LoRa module, or is it LoRa module? On this little guy here. There's a little resistor on there that you have to move from one side to the other to enable the UFL port. That's really the only difficult parts. And even then, you could just bridge it with a piece of wire and some solder. That little resistor is teeny tiny, and it's not really a resistor. It's basically a short. It's a 0 ohm resistor. Let's see. Driving Falcon. I got one Express LRS. I need to get another. I think Pyrodrone has them in stock right now. I think they have the EP2s in stock. Nope, doesn't look like they have anything in stock. Oh no, they do. Look at that. There you go. If you want to get one, get them before I buy them all. I'm actually gonna hold off on buying some of those. I got, I think maybe 5 or 6 of them sitting around here. I feel like my Express LRS 10 milliwatt gets the same range as Crossfire 25 milliwatt. Oh, you're looking for the 900 megahertz. I don't think I'm going to go down the Express LRS 900 megahertz route. I'm very happy with Crossfire. I have it in a lot of quads, and I really don't feel like changing anytime soon. I do have a metric load of R9Ms. R9mm receivers, so if anybody needs some of those, hit me up. I'll let those go pretty cheap if you guys are interested in that. I was on the R9 train for a long time. Still like it. I still think it's a perfectly serviceable protocol. You just gotta know what you're doing. Basically, it's a little more advanced than running Crossfire, just because the whole firmware thing. Oh, anywho. So. Also picked up some plaid motors for Patio Patterson. Again, like I said, hit me up on Discord. Not here. Picked up some plaid motors for the the Acro-Bee, and some plaid motors for the brushless Acro-Bee that I have. These are, how many kV? These are 20,000 kV. I really wish they were in 25,000 kV. The motors on that Mobula 6 were something special. They were kind of garbage quality. They tend to, I always had the bells slipping on them for some reason. I don't know why. We have a new patron in the house, Daniel Maurer. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and add you to the scroller up there. Let's see, where do I have this thing? Nope, not projects. Storage. Logos. Patrons. Daniel. M-A-U-R-E-R. All right. Thank you so much for being a patron and supporting me. And hopefully that'll add you to the scroll at the top. Joseph Mendez been doing DJI builds, and I'm on the fence on whether or not to stick with Crossfire. Unless you're racing, just stick with Crossfire. For some reason, people are really getting their heads wrapped around like, oh, ExpressOS 2.4 is going to be so much better, or what? You're probably talking about switching to 900 megahertz ExpressOS. I don't know. I don't think that switching from Crossfire to ExpressOS 900 megahertz is worth it. I think if you were still using a standard 2.4 gigahertz system, like just whatever's built into your FrSky receiver or your jumper, not receiver, transmitter, or your jumper transmitter, I would say probably go with ExpressOS 900 if you're okay with the fact that it is not a clean mainstream thing. Every single ExpressOS receiver I have flashed, I have had to go back, solder up an FTDI adapter, bridge the boot pads, and redo. There is a fair bit of that you have to deal with ExpressOS. At least that's what I'm experiencing. Every transmitter module I've had to flash at least once. I've had to go back and do an FTDI flash. So if you're going to get into ExpressOS, buy an FTDI adapter. You will eventually need it. Trust me on this one. But if you already have Crossfire, I wouldn't do it. I would just stick with what you got. That's just my thought. EDOC says, sounds like the 0802 Motors Happy Model fixed the bell separating issue on the 0802s. Oh, that is good to know. I'll definitely have to check that out. Driving Falcon, I have 3 R9 MMs. Been holding to swap other ELS parts. I put Crossfire in all my DJ quads. Yeah, Crossfire's tried and true. It's tested. It has its shortcomings. It has crap latency now compared to other things. It has a lot of jitter, but it's kind of the gold standard as far as long range flying. Unless you're going to start getting down into like, well, true long range flying, like doing it over LTE and things like that. But I would definitely, I would stick with what you got. Personal opinion. That's what I plan on doing as well. I don't plan on changing my my TBS Crossfire gear out for ExpressOS. Now, if ExpressOS somehow made a module that had 900 and 2.4 in it, yeah, I'd probably ditch all that stuff. I hate swapping modules. Like when I go to a race, it's like I got a radio and 4 modules just because I have quads on all sorts of different protocols. I really need to like narrow down my selection. If you saw how many radios I have sitting next to me right now, it's not pretty. I mean, just on this bench right now, there's 5 radios sitting there. And I use all of them. Let's see. Patio Patterson. Love that beat button. Yeah, I'm usually not very good with it because I got to hit it. And so I'm like thinking I'm going to swear and I got to... or I could just not swear. I don't know. What's the fun in that? Does anyone know if the Jumper R900 Mini R9M clone will take ExpressOS? I don't know. And I think Jumper has had to stop selling a bunch of their receivers because they are like carbon copy, 1-to-1 copies of FR Sky receivers. And I think they've stopped selling a few of them because of that. I mean, hell, it even uses the same firmware. EDOC, yes, there's a way to turn the TBS NPM to a 5-in-1 where ExpressLRS and Tango 2 5-in-1 covers almost everything. Yeah. And, you know, TBS is, they've seen where they have issues. There are people out there doing testing that are going, hey, your protocol sucks in these ways. You darn betcha that TBS is going to figure out how to fix it to make it better. And Crossfire V3 sounds like it might be the fix that I don't think there's a lot of people waiting for it or wanting it, but once you know, then you know. But people are seeing what the issues are, and someone will correct it. Ethos and Crossfire. I don't think you can use Crossfire on Ethos, but my bet is Ethos will eventually get ported over to OpenTX. Just like the Horus radios came with ER Sky or something like that. There's going to be an OpenTX build for it. I think even the Jumper radio, the original Jumper T16 didn't come with OpenTX on it. I don't know what operating system came. This memory's kind of fuzzy from back then, but again, it just got adopted into OpenTX. Brandon Bellamy, most people don't seem to notice, and when they do and ask for it, help, I just point out their RC. Whoa, what are we talking about here? Yeah, exactly. But again, Crossfire is not designed to be ultra low latency, short range protocol, kind of like the ExpressOS 2.4 is. It's intended to be long range. To get longer range, you need either higher output power or lower frequency. It's raining here real bad. It's not mile two. Nice. I'm really worried. I'm always scared to get my my one wheel wet because I've heard horrible things, and they're not very watertight. Oh, update on the fun wheel build. All right, this way. This one. There's a guy that I've been kind of working with who finally bought himself a pint. He's been working on the PID tuning and feature set with it. It's getting a lot better. It's still not quite where the pint is, but it's extremely close. It's development's coming along with it. Still kind of playing around with it. It's just a fun little project. JFEB, welcome to the live stream, my friend. How are you doing today? Brandon McBean says that, yes, the Jumper one does take ExpressOS Flash. Great to know. Great to know. Tracer needs to improve. Yeah, absolutely. Tracer does need to improve. Again, check out UAV Tech's latest video on latency, end-to-end latency and jitter. It's very clear that ExpressOS is definitely the leader in the clubhouse as far as that kind of stuff goes. You're also you're trading off kind of like the creature comforts of using TBS Agent X to update and make setting changes and stuff like that. What I would really like to see is ExpressLRS, like the EP2s, the little tiny ones, with a like a UART out pad, so you can integrate it into controlling a VTX, kind of like what Ghost is doing with their hybrids. With the Ghost hybrid, it's got the tramp and the receiver built into it, where you can control your VTX from your radio without actually going through Betaflight. TBS does the same thing with their My VTX, so they have smart audio output on it. I would really like it. I would absolutely love it if ExpressOS had the ability to output smart audio or emergency tramp protocol to a receiver, so you can turn the radio on, go into your Lua script for your ExpressROS, go down, hey, I want to be on R8 today, 25 milliwatts. Hit it. And then when you plug in your quad, it goes boop, and it switches your VTX. That would be awesome. That would be a very compelling reason to switch, for sure. And I got a feeling someone's got to be talking about it. If not, maybe I don't know. GitHub confounds me. I don't know how to do a pull request. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'm sure somebody else has already suggested it. But they need to do that for sure. JFV, I'm excited to try ExpressOS when you send it. Spoke to House to help out. Also in yourself. Completely forgot to send that to you. Sorry. I will try to get that out to you. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Brandon Big Pains, from what everything I see, you're looking at the next gen RC link and don't want to go to ExpressOS. Get Ghost. Ghost is really nice right now. It's great features and can go ExpressOS later. Very true. Very true. Express LRS is not. You can't go back to Ghost after you flash ExpressOS, which is a downside to it. It's getting the full power output now. Well, I say full power output, but they're not. None of them are really doing full power output. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so if we look at the 2.4 gigahertz hardware, sorry, my screen's over here, so I gotta look that way. It says it supports 27 dBm of output, and 27 dBm converts to, sorry, I don't have this memorized, 500 milliwatts. I don't know if it's an issue with the Lua script or the firmware in ExpressOS, but when you try to go anything above 250 milliwatts, so 24 dBm, it locks you out. Now the transmitter module is capable of 27 milliwatts, but at least for me, I don't know if maybe I'm just a one-off, but I can't get to go above 25 milliwatts. So 24 dBm is the most I'm able to get out of the 2.4 gigahertz transmitters. And it also says Ghost supports the full support of 250 milliwatts, which is 24 dBm. And these ones are saying 27. I don't know if there's just a typo here, or if that's a typo, or if there's some sort of firmware issue. But I have not been able to get the full 500 milliwatts of output power from that chipset. You can set to 2 watts. It'll automatically drop it back down to 200. And I've hooked it up to my Immersion RC power meter. I know it's not a super scientific piece of equipment, but it's good for seeing that it does jump in power when you switch it. So anyways, just a small issue that I've noticed. 26 people on the wheel for the 4-inch long-range giveaway. If you're new to the live stream and you want to get in on winning a bind and fly crossfire, I know we're talking about ExpressOS and it's got an old crap ass crossfire on it. Sorry, I tried on that one. I didn't try hard enough. Head over to Patreon, sign up, get yourself a chance to win. 1 in 26. 1 in 26 chance. Got to cover shipping. Just remember that, guys. If you're not in the U.S., got to cover shipping. And whatever other fees you incur, you know. Let's see. JFV excited. Yeah, sorry, man. I'll get it out to you. Rob Logan, I haven't badgered my board. For you non-one wheel folk, badgering a board is the term that they call waterproofing your one wheel. He says it's gotten pretty wet and it's been fine. Yeah, the thing that worries me about getting it wet is Future Motion. That's the company that makes one wheel. Is a horrible, horrible, horrible company, and they will completely. They don't sell you parts. They won't sell parts because they know they don't have anything that's really that special. They just need to protect their IP. They send cease and desist letters to any company that's trying to make something even similar to what they're making. So with that said, that's why I'm being very careful not to wreck my board. Rilla, good morning, my friend. How you doing? EDOC, the Ghost hybrid board is the most compelling thing to me about Ghost, but the ceramic antennas of ELS are more compelling. Yes, the hybrid boards are, that's the way this stuff should be. TBS, if you're listening, I know you're not, make a all-in-one board. Put a Pro 32 and a Crossfire or a Tracer on a board, not a board that you solder those components to. That is absolute crap. Make a board that it has it already built into it. You'll sell a million of them. Well, probably not a million, but you'll sell a bunch of them. That's like, look at this thing. I know I've probably showed this before, but you gotta see this. This is not a bunch of parts scabbed to a PCB like the white noise boards. This is actually a pre-made board that has, I think it's one of the ATO receivers, well, the 2.4 gigahertz ghost receiver, and a full Tramp Mini on one board. 2 SMA connectors, or 2 UFLs for 2 SMA, or 2 UFLs, one for the 2.4 gigahertz antenna and one for the 5.8. This is the way things need to be, right here. Joseph Mendez, I'm roasting a pig. Cool, man. Another little inside baseball. I've already told you guys what I do for a living. This may turn a lot of people off, but I am also a vegan. Sorry. I gave up eating meat, dairy, and eggs probably, God, it's got to be about 10 years now. I miss dairy. I'll be honest, I miss dairy. But, you know, I respect everybody's right to eat whatever they want. I really don't care. Mike Bergman, if I didn't have $600 in Crossfire receivers, I would sell. To see what all the 2.4 stuff is. Yeah, look, don't switch to 2.4 unless you're racing. It's just not worth it. 2.4, the whole purpose of 2.4 is for ultra low latency. Your range will suffer. The lower the latency, the shorter your range. Like running 500 megahertz or 500 gigahertz, 500 hertz update rate is like racing only. Like I can still see it, and if it crashes, there's a bunch of people watching it. Stick with your 900 megahertz stuff for sure. Let's see. Brandon McBean says, I hope TBS fixes Crossfire with new firmware and gets it up to speed with modern tech. Yeah, they've been just kind of hanging out, just holding what they got for too long, and they're gonna have to, step it up because now they have competition. That's just how it is in this hobby. Beep 2, I'm always one step behind the hype train. I buy Crossfire, then Tracer comes out a week later. Yeah, don't feel bad about that. Again, unless you're racing, I don't really see a big point to going with the low latency 2.4 gigahertz frequencies. You're not going to get the range. Like where you would normally fly on 900, if you got it on 2.4, you might start fail-safing. So just keep that in mind. If you're racing on 900 megahertz, you're doing it wrong. I'll be straight up there. I've never had more issues with RC Link than when I was racing with Crossfire and R9. Basically, it's just the antenna length. It's too much. There's not enough bandwidth. Lots of issues. 2.4 is where you need to be for racing. Brandon Bentley says ELRS is shaking things up for better for all protocols. Absolutely. Yep. Oh man, my notes is itchy. Owen Taylor, welcome. How are you doing today? You missed a lot. You have missed a lot, but you haven't missed the giveaway yet. So hopefully you got your entry in. Owen Taylor, one of my latest patrons, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, the hybrid board is freaking cool. Yeah, I really hope ExpressOS integrates VTX audio switching into some model or somehow. I don't know. Maybe there's a way they can scab into the UART out of the receiver, so you can like smart audio used to be like your microphone audio and your smart audio VTX switching went into the same port on receivers. So before you would arm and if you're wearing a headphone, you would hear all these little beeps because that's the smart audio signal. They've eventually figured out how to like separate that too, but like you would hear that up until you armed, then it would disable the smart audio VTX switching, and then you would just get quad audio from like your onboard microphone. I wonder if they could do something like that. Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what's capable, but yeah. Brandon Bentley, I'm an ELRS fanboy right now. but Ghost Hardware is so hot. Yeah, if the two could just, do one of these things, and then I got that little guy going. If they could all only work together, that'd be really cool. Bob Noxious, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. If I'm gonna lose range. Patio Patterson, Beyond Meat is delicious. Yes, it absolutely is. For anybody out there who hasn't tried a Beyond Burger at Burger King, just give it a try. I'm not saying change your habits, but it's been so long since I've had a burger. Let me know how close it is, because I think it tastes pretty close, but again, it's been a long time. Give it a try. It's absolutely delicious. And it's also nice to have options when traveling. And Drony Droid, steak is delicious. I 100% agree with you on that one too. Oh man, EDOC, just got to remove the ESC FC from my Happy Model Express Aurora board. I've had portobello burgers too. They're all right. I really wasn't too impressed. Yeah, we had this conversation over on Discord. Anytime I've submitted a suggestion like, hey, hey, I'm having this issue, can you guys fix this? The devs are like, yeah, you code it and we'll introduce it. It's like, well, I would be asking if I knew how to do that. So don't be a dick. Man, why is my nose vision so bad? Beep tube. Yeah, the environments I fly, freestyle, and sometimes the fly into a mid-range course. So crossfit does for me. I do race, but I just use FR Sky T16 for that. Yeah, beep tube. Don't fly one of the low latency protocols and then go back to T16. I don't think you'll notice the change going to a lower. At least I didn't, and most people I know don't notice it going to the lower latency protocols. But go back and fly the not lower one, and it is very, very apparent. Very apparent. Let's see. Brandon Bentley, I was vegan for a while, but it was tough on the late 90s. Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, up until the last couple of years, it's been tough, especially like traveling and, going cross country and stuff like that. But yeah. Eric Allen, allergic to mushrooms, can't eat it. Oh, that's a bummer. I'd say if I couldn't eat mushrooms, I wouldn't be too upset. Beep Tube says they're indistinguishable. Oh, that's good to know. I really like them. It's nice to have options. I mean, before, when we travel a lot, and it was always like, well, we're going to go to Taco Bell. What are we going to get? I don't know. Is it going to have a tortilla, beans, and rice on it? Is it going to be fried or not fried? It's always the same thing. Branded baked beans. Yeah, cooked meat causes cancer. My grandmother died of some very aggressive intestinal cancer. And when you start actually peeling back the layers of the onion, it's scary what you find. Yeah. All right, it's 11:30. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel for the 4-inch long range. I'm up to 27 entries. All right, guys, if you haven't gotten your chance, if you haven't got a chance to enter it, do it now, because I'm going to shut this thing down in just a second here. Let's wheel of names. Gotta clear that out. Well, damn near everything causes cancer though, so that's the tough part with deciding, like trying to apply like a scientific method to like what causes cancer and what doesn't cause cancer, because humans are inconsistent analogs. It is so hard. I mean, like you get that old 90-year-old that does nothing but eat Velveeta, Rotel, and Skull for her entire life, and she's like, oh, I have a bottle of Jack every night. Go F yourself. And then you have the person who eats clean and dies of a heart attack at 40. It's so inconsistent. It's so inconsistent. I am a carbo junkie. I love potatoes. I love bread. I love everything that has carbs, and that's why I'm kind of shaped like a potato. Man, yeah. I gotta have carbs. Can't do it. The way I was able to actually start living this way was I moved. I moved from one house to another, clean slate, just start over. It's hard to ease into it. Leston, yes, that's correct. I am. Yeah, I don't know. Like, food science is tough because, like, what was it? Eggs cause cancer or cause high cholesterol. Then they didn't. Then they did. Then they didn't. It's just, if you look at who's in control of the FDA and the FCC, like, you find out, like, there's a lot of weird nepotism. Like, hey, this guy used to be a head of the Dairy Council. Now he's the head of the FDA. There's so much, I don't want to get into it. Look it up. You start peeling back the onion, you realize how much shit behind it, But I do agree that meat is absolutely freaking tasty. I just discovered, like, good seafood. I just found, good seafood before we stopped eating this way. So, unfortunately. L. Leston, yeah, sure, why not? I just need to eat less, too. Oreos are vegan. You can be a unhealthy vegan. Just so don't think that all vegans are waif models and wafer thin and fall over at the stiff wind. I'm 230 pounds of solidness back here. You know what I mean? To homies, in my limited experience, half a mile to EP1 espresso OS. 25 hertz, 100 milliamps, outruns DJI unit. Video used so far. Gonna try Espresso OS on iNav build someday and test it out. Yeah, go for it, man. It's definitely better. Oh, forgot about this. So I've been waiting for this product to come out. I saw a notification for it a while ago. The Firefly Hex Nano, silly quad, no purpose for it. It just looks really cool. It's a hexacopter, so why the hell not? And they're putting a Naked Vista Nebula Nano V2 on an F7. I like the idea of this. I actually got one coming. So, anywho. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna lock down the entry form for the 4-inch long range. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Thank you all for entering and supporting. Let's build up this wheel here. All right, boom, there is all 27 entries. Let's see what the stats show. Sorry, I gotta do that. That way you guys don't see everybody's email address. I'm trying really hard not to do that. So I do put a little poll in there just to kind of see, why not? 66.5% are more than $5 a month patrons, or are $5. 22% are $5. Somehow, someone who's not a patron got in there. That's fine. I'm not locking anybody out from this. If you get the entry form and you're not a patron, all right, congratulations, you found it. But the $5 and up, they get the entry form as soon as I make it, so they don't have to be here for this. If you're $5, if you're less than $5, I make it live when I start this live stream, and then if you just happen to get in it, then you get in it. Good for you, man. That's the way you got to do it. Way to figure it out. All right. Yeah, Brandon Baked Beans, this discussion is bad for ratings. Yep, I 100% agree. Yeah, lots of agencies are supposed to regulate things in the U.S. and Yep. So you're kind of aware of the shittiness. Tweet is okay. Yeah, I need to peel off a few pounds. Unfortunately, or fortunately, my job makes me weigh in every 6 months. Otherwise, they kick my ass out. So keeps me at least somewhat healthy. Juice fast for about a week and sweat in a trash bag. Try to make weight. Kind of sucks. Look at the farm one, then look what's being considered a balanced diet. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we need to get off that subject. Rob Logan, you have already figured out what I was going to ask next. Give me a time. You already got it. 54 seconds. 54 seconds. All right, folks. Thank you all for entering. Thank you for supporting me. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. And while we wait, I'll probably go live tonight and start building up this 533 Tiny Trainer. This is in the FPV Crate Tiny Trainer kit. It's all pre-selected components. I'm really kind of excited to fly this one. I absolutely love. Remy Tim says, I missed. What do you do for work? Hang on a second. I'll tell you in a second. Who's it gonna be? Suspense is killing me. Is it gonna be Scott Walker? Or Brandon Donnelly? Ooh. Oh, I think it's gonna be Brandon Donnelly. Congratulations, Brandon Donnelly. You are the winner of a Bind and Fly 4-inch Ishin Shadow Fiend. I think that's what it is. I honestly don't remember what this thing's called, but you won this thing. Congratulations. Hit me up, tweetfpv@gmail.com. I have your contact information. I'll probably get in touch with you today. I won't ship it out on Tuesday because my postage lady, super nice lady, she asked me to stop shipping things that she has to come to my house and pick up on the first day of the week. She drives a small Jeep and doesn't have enough room. So, a good working relationship with her, so I'll definitely try to keep her happy. But congratulations. Thank you all so much. So next month's giveaway is going to be another 5-inch FPV Glide build. I was considering letting you guys build it, but the way parts are right now, I would feel horrible if I gave it to you, you built it up, and you had a defective component, either because of your own mistakes or because the part was actually bad. I would feel very bad that you ended up with it. So I will probably build it again and give it away. You know what I mean? Unless you guys really want to take that chance. So I mean, that's the option. I let you guys build it, and if something burns up, that's on you. I can't help you. So I'll put. You know what? I'll put a poll out on Discord because I'll make that poll live probably sometime next week, and then I'll also make the entry form live next week. So you guys can let me know. I'll go with what the majority wants, and if for some reason you really want me to build it and you win it, I can definitely work that out for you. But yeah, I would just feel really bad if it burned up because a part was bad. You know what I mean? Michael D, sorry, you probably got in after I closed the drawing up. Sorry so much, but there will be another one next month. But thank you so much for your support. Yep, I do see where it just accepted you, but I probably closed it down before then. Sorry, man. Missed. What do you do for work? So, for my employer, I work for the United States Coast Guard. Been in the Coast Guard for 14-ish years. Aviation electrical technician, E6. I work on the MH-65 Dolphins. You know what? It's late enough in the live stream. I'll watch this. Let me do this. All right, let's see. All right, so if you want a little bit of backstory about what I got going on in life, head over to Discord under the live stream chat. I'll post up a video. Go ahead and watch that. It's a long video. It's a really entertaining video, but you'll get to see exactly what I do for a living. Aaron Stevens, you build it. Yeah. I think that's probably gonna be the safe bet is for me to build it. And of course I'll, throw a quick tune on it. The one I gave away 2 months ago had an extremely tight tune on it. I probably won't go that aggressive with it. Yeah. Let's see. Isn't that much fun then? McBergman. Bob Noxious, hey, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Trust me. Tell us the truth. You work on UFOs. Well, if you can't identify what's flying, then it's technically a UFO, right? Seriously, when the Pentagon released that UFO footage a couple years ago, I heard an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and if you don't know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, go beat yourself up. You're an animal. He's the first person that was like, yeah, it's a UFO. Okay, whatever, moving on. And everyone's like, well, it's aliens. And he's like, no, it doesn't mean it's aliens because it's unidentified. UFO means unidentified. I can't identify it. It's unidentified. It could be the Ruskies. It could be aliens. It could be. What's the evidence that it's anything other than it's flying around? I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Just a thought. Just random thoughts. Got a lot of those. They're kind of scary sometimes. Oh, man. But yeah, so I've got one of the Firefly Hex Nano quadcopters with the Naked Vista coming. Pretty excited about it. I've never flown a Hex, and this thing is it's just tiny. I would almost say it's cute. But yeah, hopefully, I hope y'all are gonna have a good weekend. Go out. LS, is it true that we are seeing more and more UFOs? Yeah, there's definitely been more talk about it. I think, isn't the Air Force supposed to release all the documentation they have on UFOs in the next month or two? Something like that. Can't type today. I think it was actually in one of the, was it in like one of the COVID stimulus plans was to release, I don't know. There's something coming out about it. I think I could be completely wrong. Oh yeah, Mike Bergman, absolutely, dude. Look over here while we're doing something over here. Yeah, it's we're gonna go down a weird road. Anyways, yeah, by June. Okay, that's all right. So somebody else at least knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, BeepTube, if you put everything in perspective, the likelihood of aliens visiting us has to be very, very small, especially if they're here and we haven't already seen them. I would assume the likelihood is very, very, very low. I mean, how big is the universe? I don't know. From one standpoint, I mean, what's the chance that we're the only sentient beings in the entire universe? What are the chances? All right, we're getting off on a weird topic here. I made a extension for my my microphone boom arm. It's 3D printed. I've tried a bunch of different iterations. 3D printing just wasn't cutting it, mostly because I had a peg on top of a cylinder with a hole for the stand. The 3D printed peg just wasn't working out, so kind of adopted a pattern or a model where I used a steel rod to kind of replace that peg part, and it seems to be working out really well. If you're into 3D printing, do yourself a favor and buy a 0.8 millimeter nozzle. Just give it a try. You will be shocked at how much heavier, thicker, and stronger all your parts are. Plus, they print really fast. And the print quality is actually pretty darn good. I wouldn't be printing like high detail models, but for functional prints, get that big nozzle and give it a shot. Just give it a shot. Let's see, Michael D. I bought last month was a TX16S updated firmware, an SD card to 2311, but now I can't create a model. It shows glider and plane. I had to upgrade to 16 gig card, not to no. Really? That doesn't seem right. OpenTX doesn't take up really much space at all. But I think 16 gig, or maybe 32 gig is the maximum size you can use on OpenTX, by the way. Just so you can't create a model, shows glider and plane. Okay, so here's something you can try. Let's fire up OpenTX companion, HIJK LMNO. Because Windows search sucks. All right, let's. So one thing you can try, stop it. All right, so when you go to your settings here, what you can do is go to application settings and, where's it at? Action on new model, use model wizard, change that to just create the model or open model editor. I would just do create the model. This will get rid of that. Hey, are you making a plane? Are you making a quad? Are you making a blah, blah, blah? It's annoying. I don't really care for it. So when you do just create a model, it'll make a model with internal and external RF turned off. Channels 1, 2, 3, 4 will automatically be assigned in the mixer to your sticks. You go in and then create your aux channels. Droney Droid, I don't think so. Oh yeah, you probably got a 2 gig. Okay, I thought never mind. I read something I didn't see there. Yeah, I think if you go over 32 gigs, OpenTX can't actually read the SD card. So when you go from FAT32 to XDHC, something like that, OpenTX doesn't have the ability to read that anymore. But Michael D, that's what I would try. Reflash OpenTX with that wizard turned off and see if you can do that. It might be super drones. Yeah, it may just be drones. Drones are so new and they're developing very quickly that maybe it's just, it's not a Phantom. It's an X-Class with a bunch of LEDs on it that people are seeing. How cool would it be if I could have that lit up in the background with the LEDs on? Droid. All right, we'll see you later, man. Have a good one. Get out and go fly, dude. Let's see. You gonna go fly? Have a good time. Dauntless, did I miss the giveaway? You did. We pulled your name and you weren't here to claim it, so we had to roll again. I'm sorry, man. I'm just messing with you. Yep. Giveaway is done. But stick around for next month's. It'll be probably a pre-built. Well, it'll be a Glide 5-inch with all the fixings and all the trimmings. Most likely I'll build that up and give that away, or I'll give it away as a you build it box. Just not really sure what I want to do yet. Mike Bergman laughing his ass off. Yeah, I love doing these live streams. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good section of my day, but well, there's lots of other ways I'd like to spend it, but I do truly like doing these live streams. I like interacting with you guys. If you have any troubleshooting questions or just want to, shoot the poop, head over to tweetfu.com and hit that Discord link. Giving away a Tesla next month. Dude, I have been bugging my wife, like, I want to get a Tesla. But then every time I read about Tesla, that company does all the things I absolutely hate. They fight right to repair. You can't get a lug nut cap for your car without going to a service center and having them install it. Thoughts on the AOS 5? I don't know. I don't know. I got unpopular thoughts, so I'll just keep them to myself. Give away DJI goggles. Sure. You want to sponsor it? They're Dauntless. But you know what? Maybe that is a good idea. Maybe I should give away a set of DJI goggles. How much are they? Let's see. Nope, they're $570 still. Nah. Not unless I can get one that's cheap. Journey Drive upon unpopular thoughts. Get to the truth of the matter. You are 100% correct on that one. Yep, it's 100% true. Well, no, not screw old Elian, no. I don't know what that was. He's just like Espresso RS. He's pushing the market. He's doing things that nobody else is doing, and it's making other companies go, "We gotta get off our butts and do this stuff." So put it all in perspective, guys. Yeah, you can hate them. You can hate DJI. If it wasn't for DJI, what would we be flying for? Like camera drones, home-built helicopters. Like all these companies, they're a necessary evil. They're a necessary thing to deal with to advance that sector. Rob Logan, we'll see you later, man. Float on, bud. Beep tube, yeah, you're probably right. I think I know what it is. Hey, get over here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Why not? Yeah, my little swamp crawler just walked over there. You want to say hi? Okay. She's being shy. Yeah, she's still there. All right, folks. I'm gonna shut this thing down. Thank you all for coming out. If you guys have the weather, have the packs, go out and fly. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for coming out. Oh, I love that little thing. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Remember, guys, stay positive.